Hello and welcome to Supernatural Selection. I'm your host, Kevin. Oh my God.
What'd you do?
Leave it in, leave it in.
Had a peanut go down my fucking throat. Jesus Christ.
You were eating while doing the intro?
No, I was eating earlier and there was apparently a piece stuck between my teeth and it went down my throat. This is the quality content that people expect from the 50th episode of Supernatural Selection. I'm your host, Kevin the Bastard, the choking bastard today. And with me is Mike the Skeptic. Mike, how are you doing?
I'm okay, I guess. It's been a weird couple of days. We'll talk about that later.
Okay, yeah, we'll talk about that. Yeah, that's very true. We also need to talk about personal stuff. And we also have Mr. David Davis. David, how are you doing?
Surviving.
Man, we got a saying down here. Hey, man, how you doing? Making it.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, no, it kind of sums it up. I'm alive, and that's as far as I'm going. So, it's big episode 50 this week. It is our 50th episode. We've been doing this show for over a year. And
that's awesome.
I know, and I feel like now that it's all three of us together doing this, it's like now we've hit our stride. Mm-hmm. Like, this is what the show should be. So I'm excited. I'm happy. And it's getting a lot of stuff into and out of my brain. So how do you feel about that, Mike?
Getting stuff out of your brain, I'm wholly against it.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, okay, that's fair. But, like, I mean, the 50 episodes thing, I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, no, that's surprising. I mean, admittedly, it was, a year into hell times, which we're still kind of there, but it's not as bad as,
We're definitely in the fall of Western civilization, but I mean, still.
Well, we've probably risen up through Tartarus at this point.
Oh, maybe. But I'm just happy we've come this far.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, we're going to do our normal Weekend Weird up top, after we're done with housekeeping.
So we're doing topsies, bottomsies?
Something like that. Top, bottom, or switch.
Well, what if you're Switch versatile?
Well, then you're a Nintendo fanboy.
I was going to say, what if you're a Nintendo Switch?
Yeah.
Nintendo Switch versatile.
Yes.
Gamer boys rise up or bottom down.
That's a good one. I like that. So, before we really get going, again, we're recording on August 18th, meaning when this goes live on the station, August 19th, the new episode of Flagged for Content by Darth Plato, his podcast about flags, will be up, and I am the guest. So be sure to look up Flagged for Content on your various pod-catching apparatus. And check it out. We had a lot of fun, and we talked about a lot of flags. So, yeah, check that out. Now, that being said, it's the Weekend Weird. So, I figured, David, how about you go first this week? Or wait, who went first last time?
I think David should go first, because he sounds like he's got more on his plate.
Yeah, David,
he's more prepared than we are, which is usually the way it goes. But
yeah, well, I mean, David is nothing if not prepared. So,
sure, okay, yeah, I'll go first.
Okay, buddy, let's hit it. What you got?
Okay, so have either of you gentlemen seen that show, Skinwalker Ranch? I forget the full name of the show. Secrets of Skinwalker Ranch,
something like that. I keep meaning to watch it.
Right? Yeah. So I've heard of it. Apparently, it's like 3 seasons deep now. Yeah, and they still have not uncovered that secret.
Is this a fictionalized account, or is it like a documentary type series?
It is a documentary series because it follows the gentleman who bought the ranch
from Bigelow.
Yes. So he bought the ranch from the previous owner, Robert Bigelow, founder of Bigelow Aerospace. He was the one who sold the ranch. The person who bought it was Brandon Fugel.
Really? Because there was some speculation that it was actually Robbie Williams.
Yeah, see, it says in this interview, because I do an interview with this gentleman here.
Okay.
And, I'm I'm curious about the interview a little bit, so I read a little bit about it. I'm just amazed that there's 3 seasons so far. That
and they still don't know.
So, so he's Brandon Fugel's a businessman, chairman of Colliers International.
Oh, wow.
So he ended up buying this ranch as like a skeptic. He was curious about it. He decided he wanted to make a TV show of it, but apparently in the 3 seasons they've been doing this, there's been some shit that's gone down.
That's pretty common for Skinwalker Ranch. You tend to go in a skeptic and come out screaming.
Yeah, so, one of the highlights of the interview is he talks about that, like, there have been a number of TV film crew members who have refused to come back to the ranch. And it's a very bizarre investment, but apparently it's paying off for him now at this point because he's got...
Yeah.
Yeah.
With a TV show, it would,
Let me see if I can dig up some quotes here. So, he says that he started off as a skeptic. Mm-hmm. He's become a believer and is now an experiencer. So, apparently, he's run the whole gauntlet here.
Right, yeah. And for those that don't know, experiencer is now the catch-all term for people that actually experience stuff and are not just people that believe in it. So, like, I guess technically I'm an experiencer. Clark Wayne's an experiencer. So, yeah,
Yeah, so I'm going to read a couple of quotes here because I find them interesting.
Right.
So, he conducted this interview with Christina Gomez of the YouTube channel Paradigm Shifts.
Mm-hmm.
And in the interview, Brandon, he characterized the ranch as having an intelligence, stating, quote, "Consciousness definitely plays a key role in what is occurring on the property. We are also dealing with entities and phenomena that are definitely a few steps ahead of us. We are not in control, that is clear. The forces we are dealing with have command over space-time, over the environment in a way that is unexplained, that is baffling and disturbing. We truly are dealing with advanced physics."
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
I'm very curious about that because we are going to cover Skinwalker Ranch at some point.
Yes, we are going to do an episode.
Yeah, this is me kind of dipping my toe into the waters here.
Is that what you're dipping?
Yeah. I'm not going to go balls deep yet.
Okay.
But,
okay. Good.
So furthering this thing, Brandon also revealed, quote, "I've offered Bob Bigelow the opportunity to come back out to the ranch, as well as several of the other people who served on the ranch prior to my acquisition, and they've not only refused, but have been adamant that they have no desire to set foot on that property ever again."
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's
and
interesting.
Apparently, during the filming of the 3rd season, there were a whole bunch of disturbing things that had happened that they hadn't even put in the documentary series that's on the History Channel, I believe.
Okay, so Hulu would probably be your best way to check it out.
Yeah, I believe it's on Hulu. It might be on Discovery Plus.
Probably on the History app if you have cable.
Yeah, so apparently there's going to be some stuff rolling out, like what apparently is going to be a 4th season of the show. Maybe they'll finally find the secret. Now, they do have a whole bunch of people working on it. So it's very interesting to me that we're still getting information about this.
Very much so. Well, I mean, if you've ever read the book by George Knapp about Skinwalker Ranch, it's actually really interesting, but I am going to say that the account... David, do you remember The Daytime Ended from season 11 of Mystery Science Theater 3000?
Mm-hmm, yes.
It reads a lot like that movie.
Fair enough. Oh, okay. Here's one detail that I found that I wanted to share.
Sure.
So Thomas Winterton, the ranch manager and superintendent, apparently had a serious health issue that arose while he was digging around the ranch, which he was told not to do by natives of the area.
There's also... I hate to interrupt, but one of the things of the previous owners before Bigelow bought the ranch, the family featured in the book, Hunt for the Skinwalker, they were told by the owners before them they were not allowed to dig on the ranch.
Mm-hmm.
So that's interesting.
Yeah, so the specific health condition he faced, apparently he had a mysterious and painful scalp condition that separated his scalp from his skull.
Jesus.
And then there was a buildup of fluid that the doctors could not explain.
What the fuck?
Right. He also talked about enduring manifestations of an entity that followed him home from the ranch.
That happens a lot, actually.
Apparently, they captured footage on his security cameras of some of the activity.
Ooh, very cool.
So, yeah, I think we're going to have to start kind of putting together something about Skinwalker Ranch. Because we've been talking about it since I think like a few weeks into the actual podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. We're gonna go into it. David, I highly recommend you read Hunt for the Skinwalker by George Knapp. He also has a sequel book called Skinwalkers at the Pentagon. I'm not joking. That is the name of the fucking book.
I'm excited. That sounds fun.
Yeah, no, but that book actually talks about the tag-alongs where people will go and like check out Skinwalker Ranch and come home, and the phenomenon follows them.
Right. Now, Mike, have you heard of Skinwalker Ranch? What are your thoughts on that?
So, I've heard the name, and mostly what I know about it, I just, heard now. Kevin, of course, says some stuff about it, but I'm like...
Tunes it out.
Yeah. Not tunes it out, but it's like...
I don't need this.
Yeah, it does not stick around because it's like...
Mike has to deal with people more than I do.
It's just, I don't know. I mean, I don't have an opinion about it. They should bring me out there.
Oh, dude, you would never see a thing.
Now, are you familiar with the idea of like werewolf-type creatures or dogmen that have been seen there?
I've heard of that, yes.
Oh, okay, because that's one of the big common things there is that there's like some sort of... Because the Skinwalker, and I mean, don't quote me on this, I'm sure I'm probably butchering some detail, but the Skinwalker is kind of analogous to a werewolf in certain Native American cultures.
Kinda, but I plan on doing an episode about werewolves and dogmen, and we will talk about the Skinwalker some.
Yeah, because it is something that is distinct, and I don't want to paint it with a broad brush, but just for the purpose of the discussion,
let's just say it's a shape-shifting human that can take on the form of a wolf, etc., etc.
Yeah, exactly. There's also some parallels there to the Wendigo, maybe. Maybe not. I don't know, maybe I've just offended
Marvel's
somebody.
Wendigo. Marvel's Wendigo, maybe. Let's go with that.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
It's got werewolves, it's got poltergeists, it's got UFOs, it has cursed grounds.
It's got dogs being burned into sticky spots.
Does it have a breakfast bar?
No.
That doesn't have everything.
Yeah. Oh, God damn it, Mike.
It's a potpourri of stuff, though.
Yeah, it's definitely like a... if we talk about it on the show, it probably happens there. There's even poltergeist activity. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a multi-parter if you think about it.
I think it's going to have to be a 2 or 3-parter, to be honest.
I know what the audience is thinking. They're like, Mike, but a breakfast bar isn't supernatural. But I disagree.
I don't know.
The way that bacon never seems to run out.
I know. It's
magic.
It's a never-ending bacon bowl. Powered by by ancient astronauts.
Could be.
So, yeah, well, that's great. Okay, I'm going to have to check the show out then. See, I thought it was a fictionalized thing. And I didn't know it was a documentary series.
Yeah,
so,
and I think my wife had watched like the first few episodes, but didn't continue it. Not a judgment or anything on it, but
stuff happens.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much shit to watch right now.
We're living in a golden age of television.
Very much so.
So, Mike, I'm going to let you go next with your next one. And David, thank you for that, because I always love talking about Skinwalker Ranch, because that is just like bananas.
Oh, yeah.
What you got, Mike?
So, well, I guess I'll talk about my personal thing. Because it's more relevant. So, when I woke up sometime yesterday, I think it started after I woke up, and I had this happen before, like several years ago. I started having, basically all day had basically deja vu.
Like you'd done the day before, or
No,
just
like
individual instances?
It feels more like, like I had dreamt this and I was remembering it.
Interesting.
It definitely makes, when it's happening all the time, no matter what your mindset, it makes you think, makes you question the validity of linear time.
Interesting.
It's not like debilitating or anything. It's just like, flashes. Like I'm doing something, I see something, I hear something, just like deja vu, and it, makes me think this happened before. But it didn't. Now, it could be a brain tumor. I don't know. But like I said,
that is always possible.
Yeah.
It happened 6-7 years ago for just one day and then went away. That hadn't happened again till yesterday. Happened a little bit today too, but not as much. So, I'm just chalking it up to human brains are weird.
That's interesting, though. I actually heard a thing on another podcast recently saying that, the reincarnation wheel, the idea that we go through the various lives until we reach nirvana.
You mean Ka?
Is that? Sure.
I'm quoting the Dark Tower.
God
Ka's
damn it.
wheel. Yeah.
God.
Sorry.
Thank you, Sai. So, they were saying, well, what if it's not just, you're reliving the world every time you're reborn? What if you relive your life until you get it right? Like you're in a loop in your own life.
Like video game logic?
Like you're sort of like you're jumping, like every time you relive, it's another reality being spun off until you finally, live your life correctly. And that's what deja vu is.
I don't believe that at all.
I know that, but it's an interesting idea.
Here's allow me to shoot holes in that.
Oh, fuck.
So due to, not only chaos theory, but just the branching of probabilities. Say, I've thought about this too. Like, I have, get a little personal here. My dad died in around 97.
Yeah.
And I've thought many times, obviously I wish that hadn't happened. But I think about the ramifications that would have happened. I would be in a completely different place right now.
Oh, yeah.
If he hadn't.
God, I don't even know where we'd be.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely would have not all the same friends I have now. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't have the same, job. Wouldn't have done a lot of the same things. So I don't know. I mean, would I have ever gone to Dragon Con? Would I have ever met, a bunch of the friends I talk to online every day?
Right. Well,
it's just kind of one of those things. It's like little changes or big changes snowball so much that if you are reliving basically a loop, when you got one thing right, well, everything else would be completely different.
Right. I think about that too, though, because like I have this thing where I think, okay, just one tiny thing. Let's go back, not even in my life. Let's go back to one tiny thing with my mom. Like her and her mother didn't get along, Mike. You know that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So she says, hey, if you move from Morton to Vicksburg, I'll put you in my will. And I was already born at this point. I was 1 year old. And my mom said, yeah, all right, I'll do that. What if she didn't?
Yeah.
I'd still be in Morton with no internet.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'd be living across the street from my grandmother's old house on a farm running a grocery store. Probably.
You wouldn't have met me.
Wouldn't have met you. Wouldn't have met that shit. I wouldn't have met anybody.
Even if, think about this though, even if she had just stayed there for like a year or two and, gotten sick of it and we're like, we don't care. We're still moving. That still would have completely changed everything. You would have
thrown the timeline
probably
off.
would have, when you moved here, your dad had to find a job here.
Well, I mean, and we moved to Vicksburg first.
Oh yeah, Vicksburg.
So
Vicksburg. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever, would have probably found a different house in Vicksburg, different, at a different time, it would have been different job opportunities. That probably would have been.
Never would have come to Jackson.
Might not have never come to Jackson. Might have come to Jackson sooner or later with different sets of, criteria.
It's insane. Just the minor things that could change. David, you ever think about that?
Well, now I'm full of existential dread.
Well, that's the whole point.
But no, I mean, as you're talking about this, I'm thinking about stuff like, I first met Holly completely unprompted because I'd had a bad evening with my parents when I was living with them.
Right.
And I was in a bad mood. And I'm like, hey, do you want to meet? And she's like, okay, yeah, meet me at the graveyard. Which it's an interesting story, and I'll share it another time. But it was just had I not gone to the graveyard to meet this woman, I'd be in a much different place now.
Yeah.
So
hell, I mean, this podcast wouldn't be happening.
That's true.
So we're just our current lives are just the sum of all these, either our choices or happenstance that happened to us. And it's just, it's kind of like, when you think about the existential dread that comes about thinking, well, if I hadn't been conceived right at that moment, or it had been, a different sperm, would I be this?
What if Daddy pulled out?
Yeah. What if I were a stain on the bed sheets?
What if it'd been so that a child had been conceived a day later?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, hell, and with me especially, like, my parents had sex 3 times.
I'm a little alarmed that you know this.
I think this is mostly guessing.
I'm guessing, hopeful, but hopeful. Just knowing what my mom looked like, I'm like,
that's the word I was looking for.
I'm guessing my dad was like, I guess we better have kids. Oh, God. Okay. Oh, no. Oh, Lord. God Christ. Okay, let's get this done. Jesus.
20 years later. How much older was your sister than you?
My sister, the year she started college was the year I started kindergarten.
Well,
Jesus Christ.
So like 18, 17 years older than you?
No, about 14 15.
Years. Okay. 14 years later.
Yeah. Seriously, it's fucking nuts. Oh man, but the deja vu thing, I find it fascinating. Yeah, really.
That's nearly like 4 presidential terms later.
Yeah, that's
4 presidential terms later.
In come Nixon, and it's like, maybe we should try this again.
Yeah,
every time a new political party takes the White House, it's time to climb on up.
Yeah, no, seriously, I was born when Jimmy Carter took office. How's that for horrifying?
Yeah. But no, to get back to the original thing, I mean, I would like for it to me actually have been, seeing, having memories of glimpsing the future. I just wish I'd give myself the lottery numbers.
That's what I always say when I have those moments where it's not just deja vu. It's like I specifically remember a dream for years and then it happens and I'm like, oh, this is the most bullshit project. I really, really needed to know. I talked to a short guy about Star Wars and roses.
Well, I just chalk it up to our brains are really good at being stupid.
Sure. So, my first one, at least, that I've got, I would like for y'all to go into the Weekend Weird Talk and click on the dailymail.co.uk link I posted on the 14th. Because I want y'all to see the photo in this story, okay?
Okay.
So the thing is, after 32 years, the article says, the most spectacular UFO photo ever captured, or the first glimpse of America's fabled top-secret Aurora spy plane program. This is from the dailymail.com, so it's UK. This photo has been talked about for 30-something years. It is the Calvine photo. Let's see, it says at 9 p.m. after a long day in a hot kitchen, let's see, 2 young men were working as chefs. We still don't know who these 2 guys are. But at 9 p.m., after a long day in a hot kitchen, they drove about 13 miles north along the A9 to Calvine, a spot on the edge of the Cairngorms, for a walk in the hills. I'm wondering if they mean 9 a.m., because this photo is not taken at night.
No.
But
Yeah.
anyway, they see...
I mean, it could have been infrared film, but then the trees would be white and not black.
Yeah. So they take this photo of what looks like a flying saucer and an airplane in the same shot. And this is considered by many to be the most spectacular UFO photo ever captured. Friggin' Paranormal Reddit is going insane over this thing. And it's not that impressive, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm
I'm a little underwhelmed.
You're not whelmed at all.
I'm the whelm I'm experiencing is not even palpable.
You know what I think?
What?
It's hanging from that tree.
You know, I thought that too. And that's the one thing no one seems to think. Everybody's going for this. There's a pond in the foreground, and there's actually like a reflection in the pond of something else. And it's like, maybe it's a mountain, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, it could be fucking string in a tree. Because they're not on the same plane.
I mean, I see him holding the picture. I don't see any pond because it starts just
Yeah.
below the top of the fence.
No, I see you. But like even higher up, you know, where you get a better picture, a better shot of the picture.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, seeing the full picture. There's no pond.
Well, that's the thing. They found where the photo was
Yeah,
taken.
they found it, but that's not in the picture.
No, it's not. But it's... I don't know. I don't understand why everybody's going nuts over this. Everybody is coming up with every kind of speculation about it. You know, it's mirage. It's one thing. Somebody was like, "What if this is just like the fucking camera aperture?"
Could be,
Because
yeah.
those are diamond shaped.
Yep.
And for those who aren't looking it up, what we have is a ruddy gray sky.
It's a black and white picture.
Yeah, it's a black and white photo. It's a ruddy gray sky. There are some tree limbs at the top. At the bottom, there is like a bush in one corner, barbed wire fence, and there is a diamond-shaped UFO in the sky that's supposed to be moving really quickly, but is extremely clear in the photo, with a blurry plane that is obviously moving.
well, let's not say it's extremely clear because, like, the photograph, like, you can't really make out any details.
Okay, yeah, but it's clearer than the plane.
Yeah.
A bit. It's sharper.
Yeah.
Like, whatever.
Let's say that.
The edges of it are sharper than the edges of the plane.
Now, I will say, looking at that, do you know what one person theorized it is? Floating island. And I'm like, that maybe you're a brave man for that.
The
Breath of the Wild.
The more I look at it, the more the aperture thing seems more likely because it's the only thing that's even vaguely close to in focus.
Yeah.
Like the near trees aren't in focus, the far plane isn't in focus, the fence that's kind of
Is blurry.
in the middle ground is blurry.
I think what we're looking at is the diamond-shaped aperture with the line down the middle.
And look at that, the film grain. It wasn't very good film, so it could have been like a,
Like a light
like
reflection
a cheaper
thing.
cheaper camera.
That too.
Which, because more expensive cameras have the more hexagonal shutter and apertures.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of your cheaper cameras, like, for people that didn't use film in the audience, like 110 cameras and stuff like that would usually have the two blades that come together and would form that kind of diamond shape.
Yep.
Because you'd have, it'd be two layers of the shutter and aperture, and they'd close at, different angles.
Now, the thing is, the aperture thing, that came from me.
Yeah, and it's quite a astute, reasoning.
Thank you. Because, I mean, it's
I
dead
didn't think
center of the photo is the other thing. Is dead.
It is dead center.
So, like
I couldn't, even with my camera phone with the bars on it, that the framing bars, I can't center things that well.
no. I think this is I think what happened is somebody saw an airplane and wanted to take a picture and took a picture, got developed, and said, "Holy shit, UFO!"
Yeah, that's pretty spot on.
And nobody. The thing is, the rumors of this thing have been going around for a long time because the Scottish government sat on this. Mm-hmm. They confiscated the photo. It never got released, and an 83-year-old man that kept a copy of it is how we are seeing this.
Yeah.
So,
I think everybody just got hyped up, and now that it's here and it's underwhelming, they're just like, no, this is great.
I have seen every kind of AI augmented version of this. I have seen it inverted. I have seen sharpening in Photoshop. I have seen people crudely draw details in MS Paint of this photo. I have seen people trying to determine what type of military plane that this is. It's obviously, quote unquote, giving chase. And it looks a little bit like it might be a crop duster. I don't know. But the point is, it's shockingly underwhelming. And I feel bad for the UFO community on Reddit because, like, I want something to be real. I want them to catch this. I want them to catch a fucking UFO with a lasso hanging out the bottom trying to hook a cow.
So
what I love about this is I'm going through this article and it's like, this is a fantastic UFO article. This is this is a fantastic UFO photo. This is the best UFO photograph I've ever seen. And like, what does that tell you about the rest of the photographs of UFOs? I know,
man. That's the bad part. This is the best, and it's shit.
Oh, damn. So for some reason, I was thinking this was like the 60s or
70s, 1990. Like I said, 1990.
So, yeah, judging, I mean, that could be an airliner with its, kind of swept wings.
Well, the only planes that have been put up against this are military, with them going, I think it's this kind of fighter plane.
No, because
the wings aren't the right shape for that.
Yeah, well, they could be. They'd be very stubby, kind of. Mm-hmm. Usually, when wings have that much on a military aircraft, when they have that much kind of sweep to them, they're usually a delta configuration where the wing goes all the way to the back.
Yeah, I understand. But this doesn't.
I mean, it could be
it's got a tail.
Could be a military cargo plane or something.
Oh, like a C-10 or something.
Yeah, I don't think it's a fighter because that would be a very weird, kind of diamond-shaped wing in the middle of a plane.
Maybe it's the UFO.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe that's the UFO. It's like, and then, the two guys that took the photo are going to come out. What the hell are you talking about? That's an aperture. We're talking about the little speck. The speck is the UFO, you bastards. So, I don't know. I just feel so bad because I'm desperate to believe in a lot of ways, but not this desperate.
Yeah, this ain't it, Chief. This ain't it.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. This is I've had photos fucked up like this before where you see the aperture. So
yeah, and the very bright kind of overcast sky in the back means that it would be very washed out, which could lead an automatic aperture to crank it down.
Yep. Also, the fact that it's split right down the middle with a light top and a dark bottom, I've seen that on cameras. Like old school cameras before. So.
Oh, I forget what that's called. I saw a thing, but where it has that circle in the middle that has that. Yeah, that's part of the viewfinder, so that wouldn't be in the picture.
Well,
but
I've had something like that turn up on photos. So
yeah,
typically when I'm taking, and here's the thing, it's typically when I'm taking a photo of the sky.
I mean, that could just be the artifact of the clouds. Could just be a line that's from a darker to a lighter area of the clouds.
Maybe. I'm not going to argue about that, but we're all three in agreement that this is not
more than
the UFO we're looking for, most likely.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be
maybe a floating island.
It's a bridgeless Star Destroyer coming right at us.
Got knocked off. It's crashing. That's what it is.
So now that I say that, that's kind of what it looks like.
It kind of does, doesn't it? Maybe they just photoshopped the bridge out. I don't know.
That's what that military plane in the background took it out.
Oh, right. It's the Rebel Alliance, but they had a budget cut.
Yeah.
Okay.
Their X-wing became just a regular V-wing.
It just came a wing.
Wow, poor bastards. Well, that's my first one, and thank you guys for humoring me with that, because, like, God, I wish it was real, and, like, everybody was talking about how it's this amazing photo, and when I looked it up and found it and read the story, I'm like, oh, no. God damn it.
Kevin,
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you, Mike.
I'm going to make a skeptic out of you yet.
Well, no, I'm already a skeptic because I want to believe so bad. I gotta be careful, man.
No, see, you're responsible with your...
My beliefs?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm very proud of myself for that, actually, especially my astute observation about the aperture. So let's move on, David. What else have you got there, bud?
Well, I'm going to go ahead and give you a choice, all right? So I have an article about, like, the day the dinosaurs died, maybe. Or I have a few Bigfoot sightings in my county.
God damn it. Oh, that's not fair. Here's the thing, man. I even read that there were Bigfoot sightings in Hemet. I was like, if David doesn't bring this up.
Mm-hmm. So you have to choose.
Fuck. Let's do the Bigfoot. Mike,
all right.
Mike.
Yeah.
You get a vote as well.
I do like me some dinosaurs.
I know, but like...
But I think the Bigfoot's more...
Oh, we can tear into it better.
It's more our bag, man.
It is our bag.
Yeah, and I've got a number of sightings here. I've got 6 of them. I'm only going to read, like, the best one right now. Mm-hmm. But this is from the Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization website, and they have an index.
Love those guys.
Yep. So a quick thing here, they have a classification system.
Oh, is this the type 1, 2, and 3?
Yeah, so this is they have it as A, B, and C. Class A, Class B, Class C.
Oh, wow.
So,
okay, I guess it depends on the Bigfoot hunters you're dealing with.
Right. So I'm going to go ahead and read a Class A sighting, the only one on the list here for my county, but... Class A reports involve clear sightings and circumstances where misinterpretation or misidentification of other animals can be ruled out with greater confidence.
Okay.
For example, there are several footprint cases that are very well documented. These are considered Class A reports because misidentification of a common animals can be confidently ruled out. Thus, the potential for misinterpretation is very low.
Okay.
So
now,
this is the best stuff they offer, basically.
Okay. Now, is this, when you say footprints, do we know if these are the typical man-shaped print like I managed to buy from a Bigfoot expert at the Natchez Bigfoot Fest? Or is this the more rare three-toed variety like we saw during... weren't there three-toed tracks during the Boggy Creek incident? Yes.
The website does not say anything about that. Because I literally read just like, here's what a Class A is supposed to be.
All right.
But let me go ahead and read this Class A sighting from Riverside County, California.
Please do.
All right. This was in May of 1979. And just for the record, these sightings here occur from 79 to 2008. And there are at least 3 articles that have been written about these things.
Okay, well, let me ask you real quick. You're in are you in Northern California or Central California?
I'm in Southern California, so I'm in the desert.
Okay.
But we do have forest land around us.
Okay.
I live next to a national forest, actually.
Okay, well, Bigfoot is definitely a West Coast kind of guy normally. So
yeah.
All right, well, go ahead and let's go ahead and read. This will be fun.
Okay, so this was taken. This was recorded in May of 1979, Riverside, California. It was at the Desert Hot Spring Condominium Complex, approximately 10 miles north of Palm Springs. So it's just on the other side of the mountain that I could see out my window.
Okay. Wait, condo? David,
yeah, I know. I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it.
Okay, I just want to know, did they turn Bigfoot down for a condo because of his race?
It could be. It could be.
Okay.
Okay, so this occurred in Desert Hot Springs, California. I've been there. It's hot, so. Okay, observed. Here we go. Was going back to close shop at approximately 10 p.m. in the northern desert above Palm Springs, California, and saw a huge light tan-colored biped with soft blowing hair. Because I was in a small VW Bug with a light pointing down the street upon leaving the driveway, facing out into the desert. I froze there with my dim headlight on, and it too froze there completely still. I flashed my worthless high beams at it, and it took 2 giant steps backwards, and then one to my left, its right, and then was gone into the dark. I was overcome with severe fear, panic, anxiety, and had to return home again. I was armed with a .45 at the time, and was still worried that if I shot it, it would be real trouble. Enormous, with a chest the size of a refrigerator, arms that hung below the knees, and were still huge. I did not speak with anyone about it right away because whoever heard of a desert Bigfoot, but later found out the locals call him Yucca Man.
Yucca Man.
Mm-hmm.
Like the yucca
also
bush.
noticed I went out the next day armed for a walk out there, and you couldn't tell a footprint for your life out there.
Well, it's a desert.
Right. Other witnesses, his girlfriend who could not dig her glasses out in time to see it. Other stories, I heard it terrorizes the Marines at the 29 Palms base.
I don't know that you can terrorize a Marine.
Right.
Yeah, you can. It's called arithmetic.
Ooh.
Ouch.
I'd like to apologize to our armed forces listeners.
No, just Marines.
Just
Look,
Marines.
Everyone will tell you if you give a Marine a ball bearing, you'll get it back in pieces.
Holy shit. Okay. Oh, God. Okay, David, what else? Who are the other witnesses?
Okay, so there was literally just this guy and his girlfriend who could not get her glasses out, but I do have the follow-up investigation report by Richard Hucklebridge, which is a great name.
Man, you need a Hucklebridge in this situation.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to go and read this very brief investigation report.
Okay.
I called Brian, and we went over his short visual encounter of a very large hairy creature he observed on the north side of the remote desert hot spring condominium located on Indian Avenue, north of Highway 10. At the time of the sighting, that area around his condo was just plain desert and remote with no other buildings or homes in that area. There is not a lot to add to the story. So, the location of the condominium is located about 10 miles east of the San Bernardino Mountains and the Morongo Indian Reservation, about 7 miles northeast of the San Jacinto Mountains, and 7 miles to the east of Joshua Tree National Monument.
Very interesting.
Mm-hmm. A few miles to the north are some lower desert mountains in the 29 Palms areas, and the south is the town of Palm Springs, and a little further south, the Santa Rosa Mountains. So, apparently the creature was about 150 feet away from him and his vehicle's headlights, which are on low beams at the time. He switched them over to the high beams, but, he couldn't see the complete creature due to the poor lighting system on his vehicle and the height of the creature. So, witness stated at the time he was filled with absolute terror and fright, plus he was completely shook up during this very short sighting period. The witness stated that he was a Vietnam veteran and could understand why seeing something like this would shake him up so much. The witness seemed to be very credible in his rendition of what took place back in 1979 during the encounter. I believe that Brian saw a large creature from the shoulders down for a very short time, and it still bothers him because of the effects that occurred to him during that sighting. The next day, this witness stepped off 50 large steps between his vehicle and where the creature was seen, but he couldn't see any footprints or anything else that might have been of value. What's interesting is the fact that this creature was seen in a total desert location, even though there are mountain areas within a few miles of this location. This fucking reminds me of Iga.
Yes.
Like, literally.
Iga.
And I'm wondering, and here's the thing. Iga was shot in that area. So there might have been...
Do you think it was Richard Keel?
Right. No, but because Ego was shot in that area, and they mentioned the Yucca Man, I think Ego might have been partially
based on
inspired by previous sightings, because Ego came out in like the late 1960s, right?
Yeah.
So this occurred in 1979, but apparently, according to this guy's report, there were like Marines who had seen it at the 29 Palms base. And the other thing about this sighting, even though it's at a condominium, there's still a lot of desert there at that time.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, because that area was for all the rich people from LA to come have like these desert houses, and they kind of spread themselves out. So,
Now,
just interesting.
I don't know what this guy was actually wearing, but I picture him like shaggy blonde hair, like a unbuttoned Hawaiian shirt, beach shorts, flip flops. He's driving a Volkswagen bus.
Maybe it was Arch Hall Jr.
Oh, after he let himself out of Hollywood. Mike is so totally fucking lost right now on this EGA thing.
Yeah, Mike on.
Do you know who Richard Keel is?
No.
Okay, Richard Keel played Jaws in the James Bond movies.
Okay,
the big, huge dude with the teeth.
The name sounded familiar, but
Okay, just picture him dressed as a caveman.
Okay.
Okay. Now, I have one other question about this creature, though. Mm-hmm. Are we sure it's not just a Busey?
Right, it could potentially be a Busey. It could just be a desert hippie. I mean, those
Yeah.
those do exist still out there. I've
Buseys
been down there enough to see them.
Buseys are notoriously scrawny, and they said like a chest the size of a refrigerator.
That's true. What if it
Which
was a
could be
Busey?
Richard Keel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very... I mean, because, like, that dude was not small. Mm-hmm. Or what if it was Andre the Giant?
I think he was probably... No, I think he was in Canada at the time, if I recall my Andre the Giant wrestling history.
Yeah, but do we know how far he'd go for beer?
He drank about 3 or 4 kegs of beer and wandered out into the desert.
Where's the beer?
From Saskatchewan. Find himself in the deserts of Southern California.
Well,
In search of a keg.
Look, a normal person gets really drunk and their benders can get really wild. I can only imagine Andre the Giant's really drunk benders are just...
Oh, some of
out
those
this
stories
world.
about him, man.
He doesn't have benders. He has breakers.
I wouldn't be surprised if Andre the Giant's, stories are like him waking up in Tokyo naked, on the top of some building and no record of him flying there or anything. He just appeared there.
You're not too far off. I recall hearing a
plane.
story from Carrie Elwes during the filming of The Princess Bride, where I guess he had where Andre the Giant had to get around on a golf cart, and he was hammered as shit.
Yeah, because
every time.
That was later in his life, and his wasn't did he have bad knees and stuff?
Yeah. He had a bad back, and
pretty much everything.
Look at him.
I mean, the human system was not set up for such.
We're like spiders in that
prowess.
once we hit a certain size, we just start breaking down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, God, that's interesting. What else you got there?
Well, I do just want to point out that that little detail from the investigator about how this guy is still shaken up by it. I remember the time I saw an owl in the desert. At night, it was like a white owl, and that shit still freaks me out and sticks out in my head. So whatever he saw, obviously.
Yeah.
So deserts just freak people out. I guess it's just because it's so barren.
Well, we expect it to not have life in it. Also, David, that's what they call a screen memory. You were actually abducted by aliens.
Oh, fuck.
So
it looked like one of those owls with the gray faces, like the gray alien
barn
faces.
Owls. Yeah. Okay. Congratulations.
Fuck, was I abducted?
You might have been. I don't know.
Was your butt sore afterwards?
Actually, the thing is, the more research I do, the more I realize they don't really do butt stuff. There'd be something over your dong.
Well, and Mike, here's the thing. I eat a lot of spicy food, so my butt is always sore.
Oh, yeah.
That's true. Yeah, you do.
It's a defense mechanism.
Stand back, motherfucker, or shart.
So I figure that's kind of a fun, it's a little local thing for me, and I would suggest you guys go through the website and see what you have in your area.
Okay. Yeah, I've tried to look at, a lot of mine is it threw rocks at me from the woods. I'm like, that's your neighbors.
I do have one from Lake Hemet So I'm going to dox myself here. I live in Hemet, California. Mm-hmm. And there is a sighting in November of 2000 at Lake Hemet.
Only 20 years ago.
Yeah, so maybe I'll do that one next week in Weird.
There you go. We'll do that. I tell you what, we'll look up like local stuff to talk about during Weekend Weird next time. Does that sound fun?
Yeah, I like that.
Cool.
It wouldn't be really a Weekend Weird, would it? It would be more of a paranormal and you.
It'd be like a hostful from the old Nerdist podcast where it's
Kevin.
just them talking.
No, Kevin. It's sexy sorry, it's sexy cryptids in your area.
Ooh.
Click here for more.
I like
We'll
this idea.
call it Loco Local.
Ooh, I like that too.
Local.
Loco and La Capesa. So, Mike, you got another one?
So, some would say my next story isn't supernatural, but I have to say, what else is something that, one, has been talked about for years, but never seen, and two, a lot of people say can't actually exist?
Is this a riddle?
It's more of a, my story fits that, and if that's not supernatural, then what is?
Is it a Snickers bar?
No, that
What
doesn't.
does it have in its
Kevin,
pockets?
people believe Snickers bars exist because they eat them.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. We're just sitting here doing Gollum voices, God damn it.
So, but no, I mean, it's just something that has been talked about forever. It's nuclear fusion has been confirmed. California team achieved ignition, and ignition basically means a reaction that puts out more power than it takes to start it in fusion terms.
Holy shit.
Fuck
Yeah.
yeah.
Like they actually did it.
Yeah, I mean, it was obviously for only a couple of fractions of a second, but it still at the time put out more power than it took to actually heat it and everything, which is obviously one of the steps on the road to making fusion actually happen. Because if you're just having to put more power into it than you're getting out, well, that's an interesting science experiment, but it doesn't actually provide power.
Yeah, it's not doing anything for you.
So they achieved this in August 8th, 2021. But of course, due to peer review, at the time they did say they achieved it, but if this has been peer reviewed and everything, and everybody that looked at the data and everything comes back and says,
congratulations, you fucking did it.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So it was the Lawrence Livermore National Labs National Ignition Facility.
I'm glad you said that, and it wasn't like, University of California Literary Department.
Yeah. I'm just trying to see. It doesn't say which one it is. I don't remember if this is their laser inertial ignition facility or what, or is it a tokamak? I don't remember.
I don't know what that means.
So there are several different fusion designs going around. Tokamak basically means a giant donut. It's it's a magnetic confinement scheme where basically you have plasma held in this donut. Basically, think of the inside of a donut, not a filled donut, but
you said it's full
donut.
of plasma.
Yeah, but it's in that donut shape you have plasma, but it's using strong electromagnets to keep the plasma away from the walls, because there's no known material that can hold the plasma, because it's hundreds of thousands of degrees Celsius.
Mike, I saw donuts in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Can I have a donut?
It's not my donuts. I can't give you a donut.
Okay.
And you shouldn't have a donut anyway.
Fuck.
But the other one is, we have one design that they built called the laser inertial confinement, where basically think of it like a pellet of whatever fissile material they're using. They shoot lasers at it from all directions, and so those lasers pushing in on it confine the plasma to the middle. It doesn't say which facility they were doing here, but I should have read the article, but I didn't.
Oh no.
Read the full article. But yeah, no, either way, the fact that they can get more power out than put in is a big step.
No kidding.
And maybe not supernatural, but definitely extra normal.
Yeah. It's super normal.
Yeah.
It's cool though. I mean, that's this is like next to cold. Is this technically cold fusion?
No, this is hot, very hot fusion. Because it's still,
plasma and
hundreds of
lasers
thousands
and
of
shit.
degrees.
Yeah, okay. Next to cold fusion, this is one of those things that everybody's been like trying to do.
Or room temperature superconductors.
Yeah.
Not since the McDLT have we achieved something such as this.
David, it keeps the hot side hot and the cold side cold. But how do it know? So, God damn it. So, that is extremely interesting, though. Now, I don't really have a story to end it on before we get into the Golden Enrique Awards. But I've already read this to Mike. So, David, I know I sent this to you earlier. I would like to read this word salad out loud. Okay, this is. Let me explain. This is from a gentleman that I came across recently on a Discord. I'm not going to name any names, but he is currently being held in. He is from somewhere on the western seaboard of the United States. He is currently being held in a refugee camp full of Ukrainians in Ireland because the EU won't let him in, and the EU won't let him in because he wants to explain to them the truth of UFOs. All right? Don't ask how I met this individual. So I would like to read this in the way that I heard it in my head. Human religious mythology surrounds the ultimate objective of achieving a state of being where they exist in a place without biological restrictions outside of three-dimensional space. It's describing existing as a fifth-dimensional being as the ultimate goal of social development. Any species capable of FTL travel could be expected to achieve the state of consciousness, meaning they could operate in the 3D world through direct travel or incarnate into the physical world from a fifth-dimensional existence.
Well, those are sure some words.
Aren't they, though? So, yeah, I got subjected to that, and I've had to share it with everybody.
That's just been taking up, residence in your brain all day, hasn't it?
No, because I never actually hold anything in from when I read it.
Well, I mean, just the thought of that existing.
Oh, yeah, no. I read it, and then I reread it, and then I read it a third time, and I kind of think what he's talking about is us ascending to a higher plane of consciousness, maybe?
Or going to Costco? I don't know.
But one of our associates at work who kind of thinks like this, but much more clearly, kind of gets the idea of what he's talking about. And I honestly kind of do as well. But the guy also said some stuff that sort of offended me. So, yeah, I don't give a shit. David, what do you think about it?
I'm still trying to process that jumble of words.
No, it basically rolled off my brain like, water on a duck's back. Like none of it stuck.
All these words will be lost like tears in rain.
Yeah. It's just the same word salad as that. Has anyone ever even, what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Gone as far down as looks like.
Yeah,
to look more like, yes.
Yeah, it's the same kind of thing. Just
this sounds like a 4chan shitpost. Like this sounds like literally something I'd see on X.
Which we're gonna get to X at the end of the whole thing, but I'm glad we've got an X thing coming, right?
Yes, we do.
Okay,
but I won't name names. But it did come from like a Discord you're on.
It came from a Discord that involves skeptical analysis of the stuff we talk about. So this coming in there was man,
wild stuff.
Weird, Ed, that was some weird, wild stuff there, Ed.
Barging in there and like throwing his balls on the table. And
yeah, pretty much. It's like Louis, the guy who comes in and repeatedly says his catchphrase, "I'm gonna dip my balls in it."
For all you 90s kids out there.
And that is a deep cut to the state right there.
Yeah.
Not the deep state, just a deep cut to the state.
Yes.
So, now that we've gotten that shit out of the way, so let's talk about the topic of the night, the Golden Enriques. Now, thank you. So, the Golden Enriques, I thought, would be a fun thing to do where we talk about, like, say, 3 subjects from each season. I guess every 50 episodes we go back, look at like 3 nominees for the most batshit theory or batshit person, whatever, from the whole series so far. And determine who was craziest.
Yeah.
And this time, we have put forward 3 nominees, and we did have an audience vote on this as well. But we're going to choose the winner ourselves. The nominees are... Let me find guy's name.
Well, you have a very hollow stomach, Mike. I hear you patting at it.
Okay, quote, Dr. Gene Ray of Time Cube. David Icke for Them Lizard People. And the one and only Dr. Alex Chu for his immortality bans and casual racism. So, it's no secret that the winner, by a long shot, has been Time Cube. Now,
I think it causes the most mental damage.
okay, that's fair, but
The hardest to get through.
Like, I wasn't
Now,
even
David-
on that episode, and I'm still traumatized.
I know. Now, David, you were pulling for Alex Chu. Now, why do you think he's the most insane?
Well, number one, we've gotten 2 episodes out of him so far.
Okay, that's fair.
Like, it's a very, very deep well.
And my thing is, we're never going back to Time Cube because that well is poison.
I would posit that Time Cube, we could get several episodes out of it. We would just all be institutionalized at the end of it.
Okay, that's fair. But Alex, he is like this. I can't wait to dig more into his worldview because you keep teasing that. But
Yeah, and we'll do that in, I guess, season 2, I suppose. But part of the reason I can see why Alex maybe wouldn't have won is because we're not sure how authentic his bat shittiness is either.
Yeah,
because there is the grift involved.
yeah,
yes.
the snake oil salesman. It could be all a ruse.
Yeah, because Time Cube guy didn't give a shit about making money.
No, that was a true believer in his wares.
Yeah. But, I mean, Alex Chu, without a doubt, is fucking interesting.
And even at nothing else, even if he's not interested in making money from, his bullshit, he's still interested in being a shill for the Chinese government.
And the sex doll industry in China.
Well, I think that's more of
Don't
a
forget the incest porn.
consumer service there.
Oh, God, yeah, the incest porn. Oh, Christ. Now, I was really backing David Icke here because David Icke has, like, a real impact on the world.
Yeah. So people have actually taken action based on his bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like,
Other than, whipping out the Amex.
Yeah. I mean, like, the UK, they burned down 5G towers because of his crazy-ass theory about 5G and the moon and Jupiter and the lizard people.
The progenitor of the 5G paranoia?
Yeah, he started that shit.
Jesus.
Yeah, David Icke started the 5G conspiracy.
And of course, everyone else, or a lot of other nut jobbers have latched onto that for their own.
Fucking Alex Jones, everybody else.
Makes the frogs
Right.
gay.
The way that I see this is we have 3 very different cases. All of them are very interesting, but for different ways. So with David Icke, it's very much like damage on a mass scale.
Yeah, it's definitely tangible,
And,
real world.
and like just spreading anti-Semitism like a motherfucker.
Right. For Alex Chu, it's very much kind of like a very deep well of a person who can't help but give away more and more of himself.
It's also looking at watching a very damaged person fall apart in real time.
Right, and then with the whole Time Cube situation, that's just insanity.
Gene Ray is that's just a very old man with some very weird ass ideas.
Alex Chu, it's debatable whether, he obviously has some mental issues, but is he actually, crazy or not?
And David Icke. I don't know if he believes it or not.
He definitely has some paranoia streak going, I think.
He's also
But-
a more successful grifter than Alex Chu.
Yeah, that's true. He is definitely making more bank on that.
But he has been banned from. He's been banned from Australia, New Zealand, and Canada.
Didn't he like run for office or something like
Oh
that?
yeah, he didn't make it. Of course.
Well, yeah, no, but I think that puts him more in a true believer, camp that he's willing to put himself out there
Sure.
on all this stuff.
And-
but yeah, Time Cube guy just.
But here's the other thing. David Icke has been banned from places. Alex Chu has banned an entire nation from getting his immortality raise.
Yeah, if
So who
you're
has the
from
real power here?
Taiwan, you cannot become immortal. That's just how it is. And I hate to say it, I as much as I wanted it to be David Icke, I have to agree that it is fucking Time Cube. That is the most insane thing I think we've covered as far as just sheer. I mean, I grabbed a quote and put it into the discussion so I could bring it up on the show. Mm-hmm. And this sums up, Alex Chu has got his batshit science. David Icke has got his weird, I can't believe you believe this stuff. Let me just reread a quote from the Time Cube website. First word said was that only one day could be used on Earth did not change the one-day marshmallow.
Yeah. No. That's just.
The one-day marshmallow.
That's indecipherable.
That is...
If there was an actual thought and meaning behind that, it's impenetrable.
Now, let me just say that Ghostforge, one of our listeners, says he thinks he understands what Gene Ray is saying on the Time Cube website. And to that, I just want to say, Ghostforge, please stop. We love you, buddy. Don't do this to yourself. Just stop. Just don't do it. Sam, don't do the writing about Time Cube. You don't need to. People like you for you. You don't have to. Don't do this to yourself.
That's martyrdom down that path.
Look, I spent a week trying to understand this stuff, and I'm still not right. Okay? It makes me a better host for this show, but you can't talk to me.
Don't look into the abyss, for it looks back at you.
Don't fucking do it. Everything else
about marshmallows.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, and then there's the whole naval thing and the shit about each race has their own corner of the cube. Remember there's Black Day, White Day, Indian Day, and Asian Day? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All the races.
All the races. And then one guy said, I'm half black, half white, and Gene Ray just got up and walked out.
Wait a minute. So it's a cube, but only has 4 sides?
Fuck.
That's a square. That's Times Square, not Time Cube. A cube has 6 faces.
We're still learning. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
6 faces,
it's not,
8 points.
It's not giving, it's taking. It's taking our lives.
12 lines.
So, I guess we're all in agreement, though, for the most part, that Dr. quote-unquote Gene Ray, you posthumously have won the first annual Golden Enrique Award. Should we give him a round of applause? Okay. All right, that's there we go. That's all you get, buddy. That is it. Because you won, we lost. Yeah. So that's we'll have a more in-depth episode 100. We'll make a big production out of it, but we didn't get a lot of prep time because me and Mike are getting ready for Dragon Con, and I read fucking Zachariah Sitchin, and that fucking damaged me.
Yeah.
And I was in the hospital. This should have happened 2 months ago, but I was in the hospital, so
Yeah.
it just a lot of shit happened. So I apologize for this not being as big a deal as I wanted it to be.
I was going to 3D, or I still am going to 3D print a trophy, but
Yeah. I actually have a 3D model of Enrique with his wand that we're going to 3D print, and we're going to spray paint it, and we're going to take photos and everything and use it for thumbnails and stuff every time we do the Golden Enriques. So,
and if any winner actually wants to claim it, we'll mail it to him.
that's right. If Alex Chu
They-
wins
they-
next year,
They may have to pay postage, but hey.
that's the other thing. If you do the third episode, David, in season 2, that
still makes them qualified. Yeah, it's like it's like the Hugos or something. Any new season or whatever, as long as it's in that calendar year.
So next time, buddy, it might
Qualifies
be
him.
Alex Chu.
No, I hope so. I hope so.
Yeah, no, I really think he stands a chance next time, because I don't know that we're going to... I say this in the hopes that I do find some really crazy shit, but I don't know that we're going to find anything quite as crazy as Time Cube again.
Ooh, we should also have a thing where we do the Lifetime Achievement Award.
Ooh.
So if Alex Chu or name escapes me now, the other guy that was in our list,
David Icke?
Ike, yeah, David Icke, if they pass,
Oh,
they're
they get the
eligible
Lifetime
for the-
Achievement
They're
Award.
eligible for the Lifetime Achievement Award.
Battle
Yeah.
Royale rules.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thunderdome.
The other thing is, like, maybe next time for the next Golden Enrique Awards, we can actually do a couple of awards, because, not just, like, focusing on, like, crackpots, but
Yeah,
also,
no,
like,
we
what was
gotta-
the most popular episode, for example.
Yeah,
'Cause
we need
I'd
to
be
do
curious to know
categories.
which episode of ours had the most numbers.
Oh, I can tell you right now, I already know, it's the Graham Hancock episode.
Fair enough. So,
Yeah,
there should probably be an award for Graham Hancock.
Yeah, 20 to 30 downloads per episode, and then Graham Hancock is 890.
What the balls happened there?
I have no idea, but 890 downloads for Graham Hancock, guys.
Maybe it was just the name.
Maybe.
They like me, thought it was Herbie Hancock.
California knows how to party. Okay.
We could also have like most plausible.
Oh, I like that. We'll come up with categories for next year.
Yeah.
So, and besides, we're just getting started. This is our first year. I have no intention of stopping this. Mike, you heard it.
Yeah.
You're fucked. So, now remember,
Google how to fake my own death. It says that's really hard to do.
yeah. So, that being said, David, I would love for X to give it to us right now. That would be
all right.
amazing. And then we'll go
Okay.
into some questions.
All right, so the title of this discussion is Black Holes.
Uh-oh.
And I'm just going to read the comment.
The statement for this one?
Yes,
Yeah.
the statement for this thread. This is the original post.
Uh-huh.
An even bigger crock of shit than that flat earth meme. Do any of you actually think these things exist? To me, they're just cope for shit scientists, end quote, can't explain. Mike, you're up.
God damn it. Mike,
So
you just throw it straight at Mike like he's not gonna just like have a fucking aneurysm after that.
well, one, yes, for a long time.
they were theoretical,
Yeah,
right?
they were just theoretical. There was no empirical or observed evidence for black holes.
Sounds
But
like
they were,
coping to me.
but there were areas that where the concept of a black hole made all the math fall into place. But then we got more sensitive telescopes and we're able to see, well, there's got to be something really dense at the center of galaxies.
And it was Alex Jones.
yeah, oh yeah, But other than the Alex Jones galaxy, all the others seem to have a
you're
black.
going to search Alex Jones black hole at the center of the galaxy.
Don't search Alex Jones black hole. You'll get some very bad results. I guarantee it. But we observed galaxies. They're what regular matter just didn't account for
Right.
the mass that would be needed at the center of a galaxy. So supermassive black holes came about because they were just so dense. And it just snowballed from there like anything else, like science does. Science loves solving questions.
Right.
I mean, to a lot of people that sounds like making shit up, which it is. I mean, it's making stuff up
Mathematically.
it's a hypothesis. And a lot of people poo-poo the term hypothesis. Well, that just means you don't know anything. It's like, no, it means you have an idea of how to explain observed phenomenon.
Yeah.
And then you go on to try to prove it.
Now, a theory becomes a hypothesis, and then a hypothesis
Yeah.
becomes an answer, right?
Yeah.
Or it gets rejected, and you come up with a new theory.
Well, yeah, so it starts theory, but hypothesis is
A testable theory.
Is a way to prove it. You come up with the criteria, for instance, with the black holes, it would be, one,
It's
it
gotta
warps.
have-
It's massive enough to warp light around it, yet not be, directly observed.
And small enough to fit in the space observed.
Yeah. So all that stuff. So, so yeah, you're right. I have skipped over the theory part, but the theory is making stuff up. But then the hypothesis is coming up with ways to prove it. And then, you bear out that results through observations, science.
You science
testing
the
that
shit out
Yeah,
of
you
it.
science the shit out of it.
Well, here's the thing. I've got some replies for you from the thread, okay?
Okay.
Okay, okay, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so, Mike, you say this like you don't personally already know the flat Earth is the cooled skin upon the accretion disk of a black hole. Nice troll.
Wait. What?
The foreskin on the accretion disk of a black hole?
It is the cooled skin upon the accretion disk of the black hole. That's what the flat Earth is.
So we're on a flat donut.
So is it... So it's not a flat disk, it's a ring around the...
It's a record. It's
is
like
it-
we're
just
living
a
on a
small-
45.
Is it just a small disk that's on the accretion disk that's orbiting the
No,
black
it
hole?
is the accretion disk orbiting the black hole.
That'd basically make it a sideways ring world.
You know what else it would make it?
Or,
Really slow.
I mean, it'd be very impossible to do, but a halo ring world around a black hole.
Oh, fuck that. Hey, good news. Pollution's not a problem. You just throw it straight up.
Yeah.
Well, I've got another theory for you.
Oh, no. Okay, what's that?
The Earth is a clock, flat disk.
What?
I have pictorial proof from the thread for you. I posted it in. I'm posting it in Host Talk.
Oh, good. I'm so happy
Yeah.
for that.
Let me open the image and actually paste it.
Okay.
Apparently, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, there we go.
This remi-
That's why my keyboard's off, because I was afraid my cat was going to run over it.
You know,
There we go. There's your
wait,
proof.
Wait. What? What? What?
So it's a picture.
Now, that's not Earth.
No, those aren't what continents are those?
What planet is this?
Oh, I love
What?
the befuddlement.
No.
That just raises further questions.
Yeah, none of that geography fits even a distorted view.
Look, maybe here's the thing. This planet is a clock.
Yeah, whatever sci-fi planet this is, it's a clock. But it has the green continent versus the tan continent.
It's camo Earth.
Yeah.
It's desert camo versus jungle camo, and it's a clock.
And so he takes he takes the
What?
fact that there's
What?
it's a astrological clock inset on top of a regular clock as
What?
proof that this Earth thing over here is a clock. Gosh,
Whoever this guy is who posted this
What?
is a runner-up for the Golden Enrique next year.
it's,
What does? But
mean-
the
Sounds like you got filtered, bro.
I just want to know where this
What?
globe whatever map picture comes from, because
That's all
did
I've got for you.
Did they create it themselves? Did they find it somewhere else? Is this flat Earth quote unquote canon?
what?
You
So-
okay there, Kevin?
No.
I saw a
No,
flat,
I'm not.
I saw apparently it was think it was Australian, like the Australian version of like the Today Show or something, where they had a flat earther on.
Do you know what the Australian version of Today is? It's called Today.
Yeah, that's why I think that was them.
I thought it was G'day.
Because they spoke funny, but it was still the Today Show, mate. I can't do an Australian accent, so I'm sorry for butchering your
Mine's
dialect.
terrible too. Don't worry about it.
But anyway, so he was on there and he was saying, how telling them the tenets of the flat Earth, how it's flat, and there's that Antarctica's ice wall around the Earth, and they're like, okay, well, what's beyond that? He's like, well, there's a lot of theories, but a lot of people think there's another Earth past that with another ice wall.
Oh yeah, no, I've seen the quote unquote satellite photos proving this, Mike.
So it's just concentric rings of
ice walls,
flat Earths, and ice walls.
Well, no.
Because what's past the other one?
No, you don't understand. It's all they're not like in rings. It's
that's what he
scattered
said.
Around. According to the photo I saw on TikTok, which never do your scientific research on TikTok. I'm just gonna say it.
I dare say you'd be better off doing scientific research on Facebook than TikTok. Oh. And that's bad enough.
What I like is that I'm able to turn this whole discussion into chaos just by reading some shit some idiot wrote on the internet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna reiterate. What?
Okay, I have one more. One more.
Oh,
Okay,
good, because that wasn't enough.
So show us a shiny to distract us from our downward spiral.
This is going to be bad.
Okay, here's the reply to the op post, all right?
Okay.
Black holes are real, but there's no fucking way they actually contain a singularity. Singularities are the crock. A zero volume point having mass? Fuck off, lol. Black holes are just some type of exotic star hiding behind an event horizon. Maybe they're the size of a house, or a beach ball, or a marble, but nobody can convince me that a point of zero volume can have mass. That's fucking stupid. QED.
What?
Well,
how am I the one that's more fucked in the head from all this than Mike this time?
No, I'm just like, my brain's flooded. It's like, you keep pumping the gas and turning the key, but nothing's happening. I mean,
look.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing: is that's just one theory. The problem is, it's a black hole.
You can't test it.
By its very nature, nothing can escape a black hole.
Not even information.
Not even information. I mean, there are matter jets that stream out of a black hole, but no matter what we study, we cannot get like actual information about what's going on inside a black hole.
Yeah.
I mean, the only way we're ever going to find out, and even get close to finding out, is if we created one. And even then, we probably wouldn't be able to tell a whole lot about it. So, what's going on in the center is,
unknowable.
For the foreseeable future, the domain of gods, for lack of a better term.
I just appreciate the confidence in that.
Yeah, they're gonna misinterpret what you just said, like they did the God particle.
It's
the
just
God particle's what God's made of, and that's where mass comes from.
Gods live in black holes. Sure.
Okay.
Might as well.
Okay.
I mean, why? That's as good a place as any.
Hey,
if heaven's going to exist, it might as well be in a black hole because we can't say no, it doesn't.
I want to find the black hole that contains Mephistopheles, the Greek god of puppetry.
You know what I think heaven is?
What?
A podcast with friends.
Oh, you've been cheating on us with another podcast?
Wow. Shit, Mike. I was willing to take that as a nice compliment, and here you come just shoving your dick in my face.
Not your
metaphorically.
No, it was a joke.
I know, it's a joke. So, believe it or not, we actually have a couple of questions this week.
People still listen to this and ask questions.
Believe it or not, yes, they do.
Thank you.
So, all right, let's start with Man in Black.
Mm-hmm.
Man in Black asks, because Ghost Forge, I think, has a couple of them.
Mm-hmm.
So, first off, Man in Black says, with how good technology is in cameras and videos, why do you think Why do you three think we still get blurry photos of things like, say, Bigfoot? Now, Ghostforge has an answer to this, and y'all mind if I read it?
Go for it.
Yeah.
I know I'm not who this is directed at, but my belief is that supernatural stuff from like Magonia / the superstructure has a perception filter that works on technological recordings like the screens Kevin talks about, but because a living mind isn't involved in the data storage, the best it can do is make the shit blurry as hell. And I mostly chime in on this because I'm hoping it sparks some cool discussion in episode. Alternatively, so Kevin or David can rant about how I effing sniped their idea. Yes, you kinda did. So,
I just think the supernatural is selective about who sees it.
are you saying it's a supernatural selection of sorts?
Yes.
Ooh, Mike, that's a wrong knee.
Oh.
Thank you. So, what I was going to say is, I'm not saying that there's a perception filter. I'm saying that the thing you're seeing doesn't have a form, and your mind is completing the circuit. And the filter is you. You are the filter interpreting the object or entity that you're seeing. And what the camera gets, the blurry thing that the camera gets, is what's really there. Or everyone is a shitty photographer.
Both are plausible.
Mike?
So, in my opinion, if such things were like you were saying, I would say the camera is more likely to capture the true form of something, and the mind is
Mike,
the more fallible.
That's what I'm saying.
Recording device.
That's what I'm saying. The
No,
camera,
you're
what
saying.
I'm saying is
You said the mind fills in the blanks and captures the true form.
No. I said the camera catches a true form. The
Well,
human mind, the
but
camera's
nothing is
getting what's
naturally blurry.
really there. It is if it's just a blurry mass.
No, that's not how matter works.
Sure, if it's exotic matter from another dimension.
You mean stuff that doesn't exist? Okay, sure.
Hey. Talking about the superstructure here.
Yeah, but it's not something that's ever been observed or hypothesized or theorized or had
I'm theorizing
any effect,
it now.
any
I just don't have a way to
effect
test it.
in the real world
It's footprints.
made by crazy people. Sure.
Some of them. I'm not going to
all of
lie.
them?
Yeah, a bunch of them are fake.
So they selectively do and don't leave evidence. They selectively can and can't be photographed. They selectively can and can't be seen. I think you're just describing demigods at this point.
Or gods.
They selectively can and can't, fuck virgins. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. Now, my response to that, of course, was from The Simpsons with the Shelbyvillians shaking their fists as the lemon tree is stolen from The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Shake harder, boy! Now, David, you got an answer to that?
Short answer, it's all made up anyway. Long answer, we still have issues with not understanding how we perceive the world entirely. We're now discovering, things that we cannot explain. So maybe one day we'll find an answer that way.
I think they should get better phones if they can just take blurry pictures.
Yeah.
Everybody's using their government phone.
Yep.
I mean,
Quit
stop-
using a government phone.
Stop using that Motorola Razr and get you at least an iPhone 5 or something. Come on.
So, Ghostforge has a actual question. And he asks, do you think that an egregore exists that is a mafia made of space-dwelling monkeys? If so, what do they want from us, and is it hula hoops?
Well, there were what was it, 60 attacks by monkeys in Japan last month?
Yeah? And then there was the monkeys versus... Is this a monkeys versus dogs thing?
Maybe it's a Capuchin Yakuza going on?
Ooh, this is where Hit Monkey comes from, isn't it? I don't know that it's egregore. I just think it's really organized monkeys. Mike?
I have no idea what you're talking about, so
We're just, space-dwelling monkeys.
I don't know anything about space monkeys.
I don't either, but,
Like a monkey being shot into space.
Space
monkey.
But you remember, an egregore is an unintentionally created tulpa, basically.
No, I did not remember that.
Okay. Santa Claus is an egregore. The Easter Bunny, egregore.
You got to remember, Mike isn't as deep into this shit as we are.
They're now differentiating tulpa based on intent.
A tulpa is something that you purposely make.
Well, I didn't know there was like an intent. I just thought it was a thought construct.
Well, it is, but it's one you typically make, and an egregore is one that's like accidentally created and sustained by belief. Like, say, Slender Man. Yeah, actually, Slender Man.
So basically, Douglas Adams, his theory on God, or his what he wrote about God.
I refuse to prove I exist.
Well, no, just that he had the thing about them. I don't remember the exact situation.
Probably vanished in a puff of logic.
Yes. That quote, that whole thing.
Yeah. I guess. But he's just asking if there's a egregore that is a mafia of space-dwelling monkeys. And sure, why not?
I mean, if you believe in that
if you're a
system,
listener,
if enough people believe in it.
If you're a listener, we can make this happen.
We should make up our own tulpa.
I think we should. I think we should, give that some thought and then bring it into the world. And then once it turns into a horrible beast, we just let it out.
Are we prepared to be fathers, though?
No.
3 men in a tulpa.
The worst show.
The worst thing. Yeah, the worst movie. Oh, who would you cast in that?
I was just going to say us.
Oh, okay. I was going to say
us with a little Kentucky goblin-looking thing. Just like screaming and scratching at us and trying to eat our gold.
Yeah, eat our gold. I let you can drink out of the job, but you can't kiss a toe. Damn it. I do kind of feel like I should have made the Kentucky Goblin the little dude like Enrique. But too
we're
late
good
now.
For now.
Yeah, Enrique's fine.
Yeah, Enrique's love.
Mind you, I do feel like we need to make a Kentucky Goblin shirt at some point in the future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I guess that's it for the week. Anything else? Anything anybody want to bring up or throw down there?
I'm pretty much spent.
Okay, so we're all spent.
Like a dollar bill at the convenience store.
I got another X post for you.
Oh,
you know what? Yeah, let's do one more X post.
Oh, shit. Okay, all right. Well, this is entirely tongue-in-cheek, but are gay thoughts the workings of demons or incubi?
Mike, if you got an answer, because I got one, but I want to hear yours.
Well, for men, I mean, if I had to choose between the two, I guess incubi. Because,
Sure.
if they're putting thoughts into what would normally be heterosexual men,
Okay.
I don't know.
David, do you have an opinion on this?
Not particularly, but I do have the first reply, which I absolutely love.
Well,
Okay.
You want
No,
Kevin to go?
Anon, you're just gay.
See, because I was going to say, do you know what causes gay thoughts? Gay
No.
brains. Gay brains and gay people. If you're gay, it's fine.
Yep.
We accept you for who you are. In fact, we think it's awesome.
We don't have to validate you either.
No.
Nope.
Be happy with who you are. And that being said, son, you gay. So,
So is this? I wonder if this is asked by someone that is they are having intrusive gay thoughts and they're trying to like come up with a reason for it.
You know, intrusive gay thoughts is just such a weird statement for me.
mean, I'm sorry, but
no, I get it.
You're gay. I mean,
You're gay. You're
if
real
if
gay.
you're having
and that's
thoughts like
fine.
that.
Accept who you are.
Yes, exactly.
No, it seems like this guy is literally projecting that he is coming to terms with his sexuality in the thread.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, like, everyone on 4chan's like 13 and 14, right?
And I think
they're
that-
all there for like the hot anime men and women.
And I think that's what's great about the internet because, you know, it's hard to find, at least it used to be, like when we were growing up, it was hard to find people of the same
A peer group.
peer group. And, you know, when you're of that orientation, I'm assuming, you know, you would find a lot of comfort from finding someone of your
Oh, yeah.
group
Like-
at that age, you know, because that way, you know, you don't feel so different.
Yeah, because like in high school, when I was in school, if you met another kid that was weird like you, and then you met like a third kid that was weird like you started a fucking cult, basically.
We didn't start a cult.
No,
we
I'm
just,
talking about
like-
in elementary school.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, no, we're better than them. Nah. You know, we just get like weird about it.
Yeah.
So there's something missing in the world that you can't start your little weird cult when you're in elementary school. And, you're
and
like,
that's-
I'm Matt Tracker from Mask.
And, you know, there's a lot of hullabaloo about, you know, younger people being more, I guess, for lack of a better term, gay. But I think it's more of just
It's okay to come out?
they one, bet more social acceptance. Two, more tools to find peer groups so you're more willing to come out earlier. And, you know, the reduction in stigma. Well, I guess that's part of social acceptance. But it's just, you know, I remember the quote, gay person in high school.
Yeah.
And while I didn't see, like, what'd you call it? Bullying. I mean, I'm sure it happened. I mean, maybe not as much in high school, probably, but yeah, it definitely is better times in that regard.
Yeah.
It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination.
God, no. But
compared to, you know, 30 years ago, it's 25 years ago, I guess, more likely.
it's still better than it was.
Still a damn sight better than it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all
Yeah.
just don't know, like, the gay kids we knew. Like, there was a dude in one of my classes in high school that was gay. And I mean, like, gay.
Yeah.
And everybody would be like, "You're gay, aren't you?" And he's like, "I'm just effeminate. I was raised by girls." I'm like, "No, you're gay and you're just not wanting to get your ass beat." And that's terrible.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, and I knew, you know, there was someone in high school that, I mean, they dated. He dated a female, you know, a girl, I guess you could
Yeah.
say. But
It was a beard.
I don't know. I mean, he could have just been like femme bisexual. I never really. This was before we even had terms for that. Like,
Right,
Widely
yes.
known. Like as a teenager, you didn't, without, you know, regular internet access, you didn't really know those terms.
I feel like an old
knew-
nigga. When I was a kid, we had
Yeah,
two
I know.
genders.
Well, Kevin, I'm sorry, we're aging out.
I know we're not relevant.
We're becoming the distinguished elders. But no, we just didn't have the framework to, you know, I mean, we had gay, that was about it.
Yeah.
There were gay people, and we were raised, depending on how we were raised, they ranged from weird to bad. And you know, anyone that wasn't attracted to the opposite sex, they were gay. Even if they were just, you know,
Yeah, there was no such a thing as asexual,
Yeah.
bisexual. It's just you gay.
Yeah.
And things were weird for like, if you look back on it, it's like, how the hell did we make it out of that time period?
The same way we'll make it out of this time period with
Collapse of society.
I don't think it'll be that bad. I think the economic and climate problems will collapse society before our social issues will.
Oh yeah, no, I just mean, yeah. Anyway, point is, we got
Heavy
real
subjects.
fucking serious there on a tongue-in-cheek question
Yeah.
from 4chan. Holy shit, we always seem to do that.
It's like a chaos magic ritual that I invoke every week in
Jesus.
Weird.
Yeah, you fucker, you and your chaos magic. Well,
Makes
that's
for good content, though.
It really does. So that's it for this week. I want to thank everyone out there for listening. We really appreciate it. We would love if you would head to our website. I've got a little bit of new merch up in the store, and we have our Patreon. If you would like to support us, if you like what we do here, head over to supernatpod.rocks, and you can donate or just check out all the fun stuff over there, like the podcast and the store. And you can join us on our Discord and ask us questions and hang out with a bunch of cool people that we've got there, like Ghost Forge and Darth Plato and Kick-Assatron and Sam and just a ton of fun folks. You can find us on social media at SupernatPod on Twitter, because fuck Facebook. And
Fuck the Zuck.
fuck the Zuck. And you can find David at HP Comic, HPKOMIC on Twitter. And David, you got a link to your website on your Twitter profile, right?
Yes, I do.
And that's what, cosmic-.com?
It's a number of things, but usually just goes to hpcomics.com and then you can get
There
everything
you
else from
go.
there.
All right, great. You can find all that on his Twitter profile. So at HPKOMIC. And Mike is here every week with us.
Yeah, I'm boring. I don't have much of an online presence
Yeah.
other than, Steam.
That's true. But, why give that out? Yeah. So, again, we're going to be at Dragon Con on at the beginning of September. Me and Mike will.
No,
We're going to be walking around, just being cool, attending. If you spot us or recognize our voices, say hi.
That probably won't happen.
Yeah, sure. But still, I'll have stickers and business cards. So feel free to step up and say hello. I'll give you like a little freebie thing. And that's about it. So that just leaves for me to say, David, Mike, thank you again for being on as always.
Sure.
And thank you all for listening. And we will be back next time with more fun topics. So until then, stay safe and stay frosty. Goodbye.
Good night.
Here's to 50 more episodes.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, no.
Hard limit.
Bad Mike.
100 episodes total.
Bad Mike.
And done.
Bad. You're a bad man. Big bad.
Because that's when society